Good evening, spooks. This is creepy. It's pretty creepy, isn't it? Whatever. Today's video is a battle of the books. My 2024 books to be exact. I've taken all the books I rated 4 stars or 5 stars in 2024. Side note, if you have me on Goodreads and you're like, I don't think you included this book and you rated it 4 stars, the chances are I actually rated it 3.5 and rounded up to 4. Those ones are not included because, well, they're not 4-star reads. They're 3.5, but Goodreads doesn't let me do 3.5, it makes me do 4. Anyway, this is the shortest intro ever. Let's make these books fight to the death. Or to be crowned my favourite book of 2024. Let's go.
Ring-a-ding-ding.
And we're in. Okay. Now, let me just start off by saying that I use bracketfights.com for this, and you can pay, but I don't pay, and hence why there are lots and lots of adverts. I have dropped in every book that I read in 2024 that I rated 4 stars or 5 stars. I'm going to randomize it so you can see that it is going to be random. I think, if you have used this website before and you know how to do this better, please let me know. But I just fill empty slots and then it randomly puts them in. So I'm going to fill empty slots and then see what we get given. I think it starts pretty much straight away. So I'm not looking at what has been put in there. Has it done everything? Wait, okay, we've fallen at the first hurdle because we've got things that haven't quite made it in. I think I need to double the size and then fill empty slots. We're rusty. It's been a while. I did do this video mid-2024 to recap all the books that I've ever read and ever rated 4 stars and 5 stars, but I haven't done it since. There might be a couple that are duplicated because I know that Emily Wilde was included in this one. I think that won, but it would be interesting to see if anything has knocked that off the top spot because I think it might have done. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ, it just started straight away. But wait, I didn't put in presentation mode. Thank you. That might have less adverts. Perfect. Okay. Mwah. Stunning. Perfect. No notes. I could edit out that bit of me figuring this out, but I'm not going to. Okay. I'm going off memory with ratings here, but I rated Map of the Otherlands 5 stars and Secret History 4 stars. Reassessing, Emily Wilde I read 12 months ago, but reassessing it would still be a 5 star, and Secret History I only read in September, and reassessing it would still be a 4 star. So logically, Emily Wilde wins that round. Near the Bone, or 10 minutes 38 seconds in a Strange World. By the way, I did not refresh my memory on what I rated these because I think some that you sit with and then the rating changes. So I'm going to assume I rated these both 4 stars. I don't think either of them were a 5 star. I think Near the Bone was probably my favourite. And it's upset me because I then read another Christina Henry book and didn't like it. Okay. Nothing Burns as Bright as You, I think I rated 5 stars. When I Hit You, I think I rated 4.5. However, this is a prime example of which book stays with you. When I Hit You, I still think about it to this day. I lent it to my grandma. I wanted her to read it because it was fantastic. So this is a prime example of a 4.5 beating a 5 star. Yeah. Rose Madder, which was a reread, versus The Witches of Varda. I rated Rose Madder 4 stars. I knocked off 1 star because it was extremely racist. And I know it was racist because it was a character point. We're supposed to hate this main character because he is a racist. He is a domestic abuser. He's an awful man. However, I just struggled to read those parts. I did very much enjoy the story. However, The Witches of Varda I rated 5 stars and I don't think I have shut up about it since. So that is the winner. The Rooftop versus Starling House. I think Starling House was a 4-star read for me. I think about it every now and then, but it was a lot like other books that I've read in the same genre. The Rooftop cannot be compared to anything else. It was stunning, perfect, no notes, and it's the winner. You can see spoilers. I'm not looking at those spoilers of what's coming up ahead. Okay. Okay. Mammoth versus House with Good Bones. I think I might have rated them both 5 stars. Oh, that's really, really hard, actually. Well, I've got to pick. I think I would probably go with A House with Good Bones. This was when I hadn't... I can't tell you why. I just had to go with the feeling. Oh, this is getting really hard. Six of Crows versus Juniper and Thorn. I think I rated them both 5 stars. Six of Crows. I don't know what it's gonna come up against, which makes me nervous, but I think I enjoyed the second in the Six of Crows series more than the first. And I loved Juniper and Thorn, so I'm going to go Juniper and Thorn. That was rough. Stardust versus Smother Moss. If you've seen my 2024 wrap-up video, you'll see where I rate Stardust, and I thought I rated it 3.5 stars, so I don't know why it's in here, but on reflection, I didn't really enjoy it that much, and I really enjoyed Smother Moss. I still think about it, and I still think about certain scenes to this day, so Smother Moss it is. Carrie versus And Then She Fell. I think I will be going for And Then She Fell. I think they were both 4-star reads. Carrie was difficult because I've seen the movie adaptation and I knew what was going to happen. I knew the storyline. I still enjoyed it, but And Then She Fell was a very new, fresh story for me, and it was just beautiful. Okay, I was in 2 minds about whether to include Christmas books in this, but they were given 4 or 5 stars, so they should be included in theory. But then situations like this happen where Inner Holidays was just a festive, fun time. The Silence Factory was a motherfucking masterpiece. Motherfucking masterpiece. It's a no-brainer for me. Okay, again. Stone Blind, I rated 4 stars. It's difficult to rate a Greek mythology less than 4 stars or 5 stars because I know the story. But then in other ways, it's hard to rate it high because I know the story, I need the author to give me something incredible to work with. And to be fair, Natalie Haynes does that. She has such a good, dry sense of humour when she's writing. I loved it. However, The Invocations, I rated 5 stars and I have not shut up about it since. Absolutely deeply obsessed with it. And I was so upset because, again, if you've seen my 2024 wrap-up video, I then picked up House of Hollow by the same author, and it was just like a 3-star. It was just okay. There was a plane going past, so if you hear that, I'm sorry. But yeah, Invocations was amazing. Did you click? I'm scared to click again in case it picks for me. Okay, no, it didn't. Okay. Ariadne versus Garden Spells, both 5-star reads. Okay, that's rough. Garden Spells was like a small town, witchy, family love, romance, wintry, lovely novel, and Ariadne was Ariadne. It was written so well. Jennifer Saint is incredible at writing, and I think it's going to have to be Ariadne. I loved that book. The Wolf Den versus Bloom. I can tell you I rated both of these 4 stars. I know this by memory. That's an absolute lie. Obviously, my memory's not that good. The Wolf Den I rated 5 stars. Bloom I rated 4. But we need to talk. Okay, we need to talk. I read Bloom, I think, in May of 2024. I rated it 4 stars, and I genuinely have not stopped thinking about it since. Whenever I pick up a horror, whenever I pick up like a queer horror especially, I compare it to Bloom. I'm like, yeah, but does it do it as well as Bloom does it? And so I think it should have been a 5-star, which is why this makes this more difficult, because face value, The Wolf Den's a 5-star, Bloom's a 4-star. This should be an easy pick. But I think that I'm going to pick Bloom. I think that this was the meanest 4-star I've ever given. I think this is like 5-star incredible. I haven't stopped thinking about it. Okay, Crossroads versus The Woman in Black. I rated both of these 4 stars maybe. Crossroads was a novella, but it really packed a punch. And The Woman in Black is obviously the classic story. However, I listened to it via audiobook, and the audiobook is like this stunning, immersive experience where, say you're at the beach, you can hear seagulls behind you and the tide coming in and out. So that was exceptional. But if I'm rating based on the content of the story, which I guess I have to here because I didn't listen to the audiobook in Crossroads, so I can only rate it via the story, it's going to have to be Crossroads. It was kind of a Pet Sematary retelling. It was very, very good. okay. This is another one that I've been reflecting on, and reflecting on my rating especially. So Yellowface I rated 4 stars, and Kiss Her Once for Me I think I also rated 4 stars. I've been thinking about Yellowface a lot, and I don't know if I rated it 4 stars because I was caught up in the excitement of wanting to know what happens in the story, which, okay, fair, that deserves 4 stars, or whether I was excited to be caught up in the hype. I think on reflection, it's more like a very low 4 stars or even a 3.5 rounded up. However, Kiss Her Once for Me was definitely a 4-star read. It was a solid festive romance. It was queer, which I love when it is a queer festive romance. That is my jam. So it's going to have to be Kiss Her Once for Me. I love when we're self-aware and reflecting. Ooh. Okay, that's rough. So Instance Around the House I read very recently, and it was, in my humble opinion, incredibly well done. I listened to the audiobook for it, and the voice actor was very, very good. And I know that it gets a lot of stick because the voice actor is a child putting on a younger child's voice. And I had to look it up because initially I thought it was an adult putting on a child's voice, and I could not deal with it because she says daddo instead of dad, and it makes me want to throw up. But I did my research, and it is genuinely a child voice actor putting on the voice of a younger child. And it just felt a little less creepy that way. But the story itself I really enjoyed, so I'm not going to rate it by the audiobook, I'm going to rate it by the content. Clap When You Land was a beautiful novel in verse about grief and love and friendship. And I raved about it for a very long time afterwards, and have thought about it a lot ever since. The issue I have here is that I read Clap When You Land quite a long time ago, or earlier in the year anyway, and I read Instance Around the House very recently, so it feels more fresh in my memory. Very difficult things to compare against, but that's why we're here. I think based on the fact that it really did what it was supposed to do, for me personally, it's going to have to be Instance Around the House. There were times when I was listening to it in the car and I was getting uncomfortable because I was driving in the dark, and I was like, what if there's someone in the car with me? And I had to turn it off. So it's going to have to be Instance Around the House, but wasn't comfortable on that one. Okay, we're narrowing down this side first. Okay, weird. I don't like when you do that, but okay. This one feels like a no-brainer for me. Emily Wild's Map of the Otherlands is a 5-star read, fantastiche, and that's definitely my selection. When I Hit You versus The Witches of Varda. Wow, that's rough. Okay, I'm just gonna go gut instinct. Gut instinct is When I Hit You. Oh, that feels so mean. A House with Good Bones versus The Rooftop. I think, wow, A House with Good Bones. We're gonna have to go quick, if not I'll talk myself into a frenzy. Juniper and Thorn versus Smothermoss. Juniper and Thorn, that one's quite easy. And Then She Fell versus The Silence Factory. Again, I'm afraid that's quite easy. The Invocations versus Ariadne? I don't even know what to say. I talked about The Invocations so much. I loved it so much. But Ariadne, it was so beautifully written. The Invocations. That was the hardest one we've had so far. Bloom versus Crossroads is quite easy. Bloom. Kiss Her Once for Me versus Instance Around the House. Instance Around the House. And that's when we lose the Christmas romance. Okay, we're still on this side. That's so weird, but okay. Map of the Otherlands definitely wins this one. A House with Good Bones or Juniper and Thorn. I think Juniper and Thorn has it over T. Kingfisher today. Ooh, I don't know why I didn't see this one coming, but this one's coming. Wait, is it gonna do... Oh no. Oh no. Okay, sorry, I'm being dramatic. The Silence Factory wins this one for me. Bloom versus Instance Around the House. I think Bloom still has it. That's crazy. I can't believe I didn't rate that 5 stars. Map of the Otherlands versus Juniper and Thorn. Map of the Otherlands. The Silence Factory versus Bloom. I think it's very, very close, but the Silence Factory still has it. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. Obviously it's coming. That's how this works. But this is so rough. Guys. think it's The Silence Factory. I'm gonna have to just go gut instinct, and I don't know whether it's because I read Map of the Otherlands so long ago. It was January. I swear it was January, whereas The Silence Factory was mid-year. I'm just gonna have to go with it. I'm gonna have to go with it. That was so stressful. I don't even know what is this side now. They were the hardest ones I knew were coming. The Honey Witch versus Ruin and Rising. I think both of these were 4 stars, and I think it's the Honey Witch. Ruin and Rising was very good, but not the best. The Borrower's a Field versus The Eye's the Best Part. The Eye's the Best Part, I think both were 4 stars, but The Eye's the Best Part was a high 4. Never Whistle at Night, which is an anthology, versus The Borrowers. Ooh, that's rough, because with the anthology, there were some stories that were 5 stars, perfect, and then there were some that were 3 stars. So it balanced out at 4 stars, but how do you... I think it might have to be The Borrowers. I really enjoyed that story. Feybound vs. Cackle. I think I rated Feybound 4 stars. I think I rated Cackle 4.5. I have recommended Cackle to my friend who also read it very recently and loved it. And I do keep thinking about it. So I think I'm going to go with Cackle. Well, ouch. That's rough. Okay. We Used to Live Here versus Crooked Kingdom. Crooked Kingdom, I think, was a 5 star, and We Used to Live Here was a 4. I think it's going to have to be Crooked Kingdom. Not just for that reason, but I just think overall. Oh, that's such a shame. That did Kirsty Logan really dirty. I loved Things We Say in the Dark, but I cannot argue with Encyclopedia of Fairies. That was stunning. I will reread it, which for me is a big deal. Okay, again, this was rough for you, Laurie, because you actually redeemed yourself by bringing out The Christmas Tree Farm, but Mayfly is Mayfly. Mayfly is a 5-star, beautiful, disgusting breed. The Hollow Places versus Big Witch Energy. Big Witch Energy, I listened to the audio, as you can tell. Hollow Places, I physically read. I think it's going to have to be Tea Kingfisher. I think so. The Honey Witch versus The Eye's the Best Part. The Eye's the Best Part. The Borrowers versus Cackle. I'm afraid that's easy. It's Cackle. This side is so much easier. Okay. I think it's still going to be Emily Wilde, to be fair. Yeah. Mayfly versus The Hollow Places. Yeah, Mayfly. Pretty confident with that one. The Eye's the Best Part versus Cackle. It's definitely Cackle. Ooh. Mayfly versus Encyclopedia of Fairies. See, this is interesting because Map of the Otherlands has already fallen off, but Encyclopedia of Fairies is still here because it made me do this thing side by side. And I would probably say I preferred Map of the Otherlands more than Encyclopedia of Fairies. Is that true? On reflection, I don't know if that's true. I think at the time I said I preferred it more, but now I don't know, actually. Yeah, I think that's not true. Oh, this is so hard. This cover is so stunning. This cover's also stunning in a very different way. I think I have to be true to Emily Wilde. I think it is very close, but it has to be. Oh, I forgot you were still here. I'm so sorry. Cackle is incredible, but it has to be Emily Wilde. Well, I knew it was coming, and it's not as hard as I thought it was going to be, and that's what she said, because I had to pick between The Silence Factory and Map of the Otherlands, and I think maybe, if my memory is serving me correct, I preferred Map of the Otherlands over Encyclopedia of Fairies. Both 5 stars, though. And that means my favourite book of 2024 is The Silence Factory by Bridget Collins. Who ever thought that was coming? I did not think that was coming. I was like, oh, it's probably going to be Invocations or it's probably going to be Map of the Otherlands. I mean, Cackle I thought about, Mayfly I thought about. I did think about Silence Factory. Don't get me wrong, I believe this is true. But that was rough. That was rough. I feel like I have done Map of the Otherlands a disservice and possibly Cackle a disservice. But and the Invocations, oh my god, I love that so much at the time. No, I'm confident with my selection. Silence Factory, I think Bridget Collins is incredible and her mind is fascinating. So, okay, before I change my mind, my favourite book of 2024 was The Silence Factory by Bridget Collins. Thank you for watching. Bye! Let me show you a place where you gon' wanna move your feet until they start to